uploaded to the group. So please do be aware of that. Okay, so what are we doing today? Well, we're going to be talking about, why Trello rocks and how to utilize it for your business. Length of today's sessions is 45 minutes. This session is probably this part of the content will last for about half of it. And then we'll jump out into general Q&A to get your thoughts, feelings, round table it around the group. So we'll be able to help. So what is Trello? Well, Trello is kind of a Kanban style product. It's kind of an old way of looking at project management. And in the past, you'd be doing different cards and sliding them across desks and tables, etc. And when you got sticky notes, it started to be a whiteboard-esque methodology, and this was something that was being used widely in the past until the guys at Trello thought, well, wouldn't it be good to be able to actually create this into a digital software? And so you can actually project manage things. Now, classic project management is like what we're seeing today. This is the to-do list, this is stuff in progress, this is stuff for testing, this is done, right? Bad. But since the ability to use cards and slide things across different lists, there's many different applications that can be used to be able to utilize this software, and many different ways of doing it. We coach within our accelerator, and I'd love to share some of those with you guys today to get those creative juices flowing for you and to see how you might be able to take this forward for your teams, for your sales processes, for your social media in 2022. Okay, so that's what Trello is. Oh, am I going backwards? How do we use it? So we use it for a number of different things. So for example, we use it to brief on big design projects with our designers, both outsourced and in-house. We use it to coach our clients and help our clients understand what their to-do list and what they should be working on. We use them to track our sales team and our sales process and see where people are within our funnel, our hot leads. It doesn't replace the CRM, but it really helps us to work through the really hot prospects. We do it for our VMD meetings. And bonus points for anybody who knows what VMD is. Okay, virtual managing director. And so it's one of the things that we've talked about before on these sessions, but having a managing director in your business and is actually a good tactic. I believe it or not, I'm not the best manager in the world. It's because it's that entrepreneurial tendency. 1 minute, I'm like a million miles an hour in this particular part of my business. And then the next minute, I'm completely ghosting it because I'm working on something else. And so that kind of almost bipolar leadership is not good when you're running a business. So we talk about actually bringing a virtual managing director into your business and having that person as a very well-organized virtual assistant who basically not only looks after you, but also looks after everybody in the team to make sure that they are working towards the goals that have been set. So we have VMD meetings, and I can deep dive into that in a little bit more for you if you guys want. We also use it for social media and how we're actually creating scheduling social media. And we also create it for weekly actions. What should be done? What should our clients should be done daily to be able to get into rhythm? So you can see there's lots of different ways of applying it. And these are just the ways that we apply it in our business. So for you, you might want to look at one or some of those and deep dive. So I thought what I would do today is maybe I would start with one or two suggestions. And I thought that maybe I'd start with weekly actions, just because it's a nice way to see a different way of doing things and show you how that Trello board works. And then from there, we can start to take some ideas from you guys. I can show you maybe the coaching Trello board. I can show you the sales Trello board, maybe the social media Trello board for this and see how it works. Cool. Righty-ho. So let's head over to Trello. So Trello is a free software. It's my favorite cost is free, and you can use the free version all the way through to quite a high level of complexity. And that's everything from being able to invite people onto different boards, be able to set dates and times, limits, etc. in there. Where it gets more complicated is where you want to have more people collaborate on one board, and you want to assign tasks, and you want to assign deadlines for stuff. that's when you start to pay. And how much do you pay? It's about a tenner a month. So it's not going to cost the world, right? But many of our clients will use it for free for years before having to go into premium stuff. So this is really, really simple. And so this is how we actually work with clients to help them to understand what they could be doing each day. It's also what we would call this board an interactive job description. And so when I set up my marketing agency way back when and had a number of people working in our teams, we would write out these big employee manuals of what they should be doing, how they should be doing it, where they should be, doing, project management, building stuff, designing stuff, whatever it is. And these huge like paper manuals that we would print out, give it to them on day one, expect them to read it through. They would stick it in the desk drawer and never be seen again. And what I suddenly realized is that actually this complete waste of time, because I was writing the manuals and they weren't reading it. What we decided upon is that it wouldn't be good if a job description was interactive and it's all about the tasks. So this is almost like a job description. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday has a card. And so if you then check out what's on one of these Monday cards, so these are what cards look like, then you can actually then describe what should be happening on Monday, and you can attach anything that they think is important for them to do on Monday. And then you can have a checklist within Monday, the specific things that people should be doing. So we just zoom in a little bit on that for you guys. So for example, on the Monday checklist, this is a board that we actually used for our clients. So our clients actually work through these type of boards. And they would want to, for example, complete the data you're tracking on your RTM dashboard for last week, i.e. put your lead generation data into our dashboard so we can see how many leads you got and so your team can see how many leads you got. So if they do that, they can go tick that button and they can go find it. And they go, well, where would I find the RTM dashboard? And then you can link to it, for example, here, and then you can go and click on that. And, your team, think about your team member. One of your team members can go onto your dashboard and then they'll be able to put in how many leads, how many discovery calls they've had, how many strategy sessions, if that's what they're doing. Or if they're managing LinkedIn, maybe they're going to put in their LinkedIn stats for how they've been able to prospect for you or LinkedIn, whatever it is, they can actually then start to use these dashboards to be able to put it in. Right? So it's just a further way of helping to project manage. Other things could be, have a kickoff meeting with the team. Right, cool, we've done that. Ask your team what the 3 things that they're going to achieve this week, so this is all kind of stuff that needs to be done specifically on a Monday. And then there's going to be daily stuff. So every single day, we say to our clients that they should post on social media. They should comment on 5 members of your target audience social media posts. They should post in a social media group. They should start a direct conversation with 2 members of their target audience, right? They should get to social media inbox 0. So this is a daily rhythm for someone that's a prospector, someone prospecting, so they have to do the social media stuff. So you have daily things that need to be done that they can work through. So you can see I'm 60% done there. And then you have Monday specific things. And some of these tie in. So for example, post on social media, and you say in brackets, it says, see the specific checklist above for ideas. Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay, post an engagement creator, such as a question on social media to spike the interaction 2 days ahead of your weekly moment, if your weekly moment is a Wednesday. So the idea behind that is that you do an engagement creator on social media, gets lots of people seeing you on your feed, and then that gives you the algorithm spike to be able to promote your event if you're running an event on Wednesday. So it kind of works with our social media strategy we teach people. Okay, well, what is that? So then you go up here and go, well, look, here's a swipe file for all the engagement creator questions you should use. And click on that, nice little Word document, bam, it will open up in a second. Nice and easy. They go down and go, here's 26 different engagement creators. So yes, this is how we help to coach our clients and how we get them to get into a nice rhythm, and it's very kind of easy to see how it works. But this for you, gang, could be how you train your staff, how that interactive job description comes to life, how that copy and paste, can't really get it wrong way of being able to brief someone, be it a virtual assistant or an in-house member of team, or maybe even a part-time person. I speak to a lot of people about just employing someone 3 hours a day, 3 days a week at 10 to 15 pounds an hour. You will get change out of 500 quid a month, right? And so that's huge when you have an amazing interactive job description you put together with all these different swipe files. It's pretty impossible for them to fail at that job. But here's the kicker, gang, right? So what happens each week is that we go through here and we just copy this card each week. We go up, and when we change the date, so we go and change it to, you know, say it was this Monday's date. I think it was the 10th. Oh, it's definitely 22. Look at this, hey, 22, right? So you'd create the card for each day of the week, right? Bam, 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 bam. So you can then see, or only got 4 done there, you can see what progress is, right? And, well, here it is. So the card would be there. I'm not sure why that's doing that. So the card will be there, and you do Monday, Tuesday. Now, Bob, who is your prospector, who's working in your business, who's running this, suddenly Bob goes on holiday. God damn you, Bob. You never told me about holidays. So what do? Well, we just go onto here and go, well, actually, Janice, you need to come on now and just pick up Bob's work. And so it's really, really easy because it's there. And you can actually then start to assign stuff to Janice by using this. You can then start to use the date stuff here, and you can start to assign bits, right? Obviously, this is where it makes sense to pay the 10 quid a month, right? And so you start to, this is a template, by the way, which is why obviously, you know, we do pay the subscription, but this is a template one that you'd copy and create a board from it. So the point being with this, gang, is that you would then be able to have someone look after Bob's work whilst he's on holiday, because all they do is just pick up that Trello board and do it, right? And even if you've got to cover Bob, at least you know what Bob should be doing to be able to achieve this, you know? So it's cool, right? So it goes all the way through different ideas. Do we like that? Any questions on this one before I move on, gang? Morning, by the way, everybody. Sheila, Millie, good to see you. Ada, great to see you. Any questions on that one before we go with another one? Right, let's rock and roll. Okay, so that's the interactive job description. Perfecto. So now what we want to do is look at another one of these. And I'll tell you what, why don't we throw it out into the room and say, oh, Janice, yes, go for it. Sorry, you got your hands up.
Richard, do you do a card for the Trello board? Do you do a card for each week? So
yes. So when it's a daily rhythm,
do you go back to?
Yeah. So when it's a daily rhythm like this, you would just on Monday go through and just create a new set of cards. Now you can do something called a power up, which will do that automatically. But we actually say to our clients, it's good just to go through it on a Monday. One of the first things you do is you go duplicate the Monday out, duplicate the Tuesday out, duplicate the Wednesday. Because if you get, I mean, for example, look at Thursday, we'll have a completely different set of to-dos, specific to-dos for Thursdays than other things. And you can add other items, you can book in other stuff, but it just means that you start the week, you go in here, you'll go on Wednesday and go copy card, bam, you then put Wednesday's date in, it'll create a second card, and then you go through. And the idea of it is that you can see how, you know, 4 out of 10 tasks are done here, 0 out of 10 tasks is done here, 4 out of 10 tasks there. So you can see how much the tasks are done and how it's working. And so that becomes a really nice way of doing it. This is so good when you're using like outsourced, you know, non-full-time people as well as full-time people. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Sweet. Cool. Okay. Ada, yes, over to you.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, I just wanted to just a question on your experience doing this. How do you manage this every week? Do you have mostly the same task every week, or do they change? So because I see that, you know, it's work to do like this every day. And I think on my case personally, sometimes I start doing it and I have tried Trello and Slack and several different, and then I start doing it. I do it the first week and then the second week. And then at some point I'm like, wait, that's so much work. Just keep putting the stuff every single week there.
So this is the gateway for you to be able to move away from the machine. So the machine of your business is these daily tasks. So every single Wednesday, this is the list, Wednesday specific checklist. This is all the things I need to have done in my business on Wednesday for this particular role. So this role would be what we'd call a prospector role, someone that's out there actually going out and finding leads and booking appointments for you. So this is specific stuff that they would need to do on Wednesday. And this is specific stuff they have to do every day. And so once you know this is exactly what will happen on Wednesday, and this is what I want to happen every day, you can then decide, well, this is on average taking me an hour to do every single day. So now I have, over a course of a few weeks, built this up so it feels robust and feels like it has got everything I need to have in it, but also doesn't have, trophy projects. You've trimmed the fat on it. So it's nice and lean, but it is very consistent with what we need to have. I now can go, right, it's about time that I got off the tools, because remember I talked about with my management style is also my consistency style, right? I'm like a million miles an hour one week. And then I'm like, I need to put my feet up this week, or, there's a rugby game on, I want to go watch that. Do you know what? And as owners of businesses, we do have the ability to do that. Now, I know it comes with a cost. It does come with an hourly cost, but my time is worth more than, say, the 10 quid an hour, the 15 quid an hour that I could actually have someone in to be able to work with, because it's not actually that complicated to put this through. It's the system that's clever, and then the actions need intelligence to do it. Don't get me wrong, like, you've got to get great people that work for you, but you've also got to understand that that's the heartbeat of your business. Your business should. Do you know, one of the things I actually say to people is that actually the best businesses are so boring. They're consistent. They have a heartbeat. They're our focus is 30-25-2 every single week. 30 people come to our, registering for our staff. 20 people kind of showing up. 5 strategy sessions, 2 sales, 30-25-2, 35-20. Bam. And so by doing that, you need to have processes in your business that also are really, really consistent. And so that then builds your growth consistency. And then you can put the stardust and the magic stuff in around, because that's what kind of entrepreneurs do. But it means that you're not tied into the machine. You're not a cog in the wheel, which is important, because when you're not, it means your brain is able to then innovate and actually move out of that consistent, heartbeat of a business type model. Does that make sense?
Yes. So basically, it will be template depending on the type of work that has to be done. So it's just a consistent type of work that has to be done every week.
Exactly. So from your perspective, if you, for example, as a marketing agency, if you had clients that were client managers. So when we had client managers, we would have them in that they would need to have a monthly appointment with the client. They would need to put out a report. They would need to schedule some social media for the clients at the beginning of each week. They would need. Do you see how you start to build out? Every single week it needs to have that. Every single month it needs to have that. And so it's really easy just to build out a card for each of those. Really think about what needs to be done with each one, and then once you've built that card, then you can put someone else's name on that card. Cool. All right, Tim, I'll take a quick question, then I'll move on to another board. Oh, sorry, Maurice, you put your hand up a couple of times, so I will take your question first. One of the great ways of being able to help, you can kind of do this bit, but obviously, I'll try and keep my eye out as well. Yes, Maurice.
Very quickly, I take it there is some sort of reporting system on what hasn't happened.
Yeah, and it's also a nice, if you go onto the board and go, well, look, how's it going? You can actually then see that there's only 4 out of 10 done there, etc. And once you're there, you can get them. There's great little power-ups that once you get 100% complete on stuff, you can create a thumbs up, like a green thumbs up on a card. In fact, I could probably show you. So let me just quickly show you another board, and I'll show you. So we have a traffic light system for our clients. I won't linger here because obviously it's not you know, because it's not one of the ones I'm going to demo today, but you'll see in a second that when we've got, it will flick up, there you go. So we got these green and red, etc., little ups and the ambers and the red. So if I was to move this person to amber, then they go, there you go, adds a tag, and you see they automatically went on to amber. And I move that person to red, and then bam, they go straight on to red, right? And so that then shows that they kind of move from bit to bit, right? So we can, well, hang on, I think I moved the wrong person there. I'm messing all up. My team's going to kill me now. So this is our traffic light to know where our clients are. Our clients are either happy, they're kind of the warning sign, or they're red, or they're retiring. And so that then has what we call a traffic light meeting. So I do a traffic light meeting with my team. I do that on a Tuesday. They literally set my board for me. I pop in for 15 minutes. They tell me who's green, who's red, who's amber, and we reach out to the reds and the ambers and look after them, and the greens that we know that are all good, right? So it's a great visualization. Now you could do that on those cards automatically using a power up, that when someone's finished all their checklists, you get a little green thumbs up, you know, so that could really help. So that's another nice way of being able to sort of gamify that for you.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, Tim, I'll take your question, then I'll move on to, then I'll ask someone to select the next board to demo.
Very quick question. Morning, everybody.
Morning.
I just wanted to know what your definition of social media inbox zero was.
Cool. So basically, you know, we talk about an email inbox zero, where you kind of get your email list to inbox zero. I mean, basically for my email list, normally that just means me going Control A and then delete. It's kind of the only way you can achieve that with your email inbox. When you're prospecting on social medias, we talk about LinkedIn outreach campaigns, when we've got our campaigns doing LinkedIn outreach campaigns, or we're doing DM campaigns within Facebook groups. If you've got someone prospecting, one of their tasks in the day is to make sure everybody in their social media inbox has received a message reply back from you. So therefore you get to inbox zero. Then tomorrow you come back in, and we talk about your $1 million hour. It's commonly known as a power hour, but we call it the $1 million hour within our accelerator. We say, spend your $1 million hour on, say, your LinkedIn outreach, if that's what your strategy is. And so you'll send your LinkedIn post, you'll do some comments, you'll do the connection request, and you get to inbox zero. Then once that hour is done, you don't spend every 5 minutes checking the dog and bone. You don't spend, you know, your time sitting on the sofa, you know, next to your loved one, not talking to them, looking at your LinkedIn inbox. You don't touch it again until tomorrow's $1 million hour. And then bam, get to inbox zero, go again, right? And so it just empowers you to not get distracted in the day. But it also means that every single day you communicate with all the people you're in conversation with.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. Okay. Who wants to check? Who wants to go and select? Let's get them up the board. Who wants to select the next one? Just shout it out. Unmute it. Oh, Janice, there you go. Go for it.
You do the coaching one, please.
The coaching one. Okay, cool. So this is, thank you. It's like one of my favorites. They're all my favorites, but there you go. So this is cool. So when you've got to remember where it is. Where is it? That's the social media one. Is it this one? Okay, I'll find it here. So when we bring in our clients, one of the things that our clients fed back to us last year was that they love our online coaching program. So this is if you're a coach, consultant, whatever it is, and you're doing like an online course, people can love your online course, but actually what we have, which is at the $1 million sprint, we've got 15 events is what we call them. They're events, so they're all little mini online courses. There's like a tickets. We have an Olympic Games type thing, and each one of these are tickets to the little online course for it. Now that would be everything from Instagram marketing to Facebook ads to LinkedIn outreach to doing a sales process, recruiting a sales team. It's like, whoa. So when people first start, it's like, you know, when you remember we used to go to Woolworths and the pick and mix were there when you were a kid, and you like run in and just like nick everything. Like, what's happening? It's like kid in a candy store. And then it's like total overwhelm because there's just so much to do. So what we do at the start when we're working with clients is we have a strategy with them. And in that strategy session, we'll put together a funnel. So I will do a race strategy session with a client, and we'll put together a funnel for them. So we'd say, right, Janice, for you, you know, you're knowing what you do. I don't think you want to be looking at Facebook for the time being and Instagram. You just want to be looking at, say, a LinkedIn outreach campaign and a LinkedIn organic campaign. You want to push them through to like a weekly moment, so like a weekly event like this. From there, you want to get them into strategy sessions, into then push into a sales page, into a decision call, into an order page. And then underlining it all, you probably want to have some sort of thought leadership going out on an email campaign. Right. So whatever, you know, it might be a conversation like that. I know that because I know you and I have had a conversation before. So I will then draw that out for you specifically, and that would then set your strategy with you. And other coaches might have different ways of doing strategies. They might even have like you might be business growth strategy or whatever it is, right? It will set your strategy for the first race. From our perspective, that's 6 weeks. That's what you want to build in 6 weeks. And we want to use your $1 million hour to do that. So we say that that's your funnel. Then what we do to help is that we actually then remove all the other events. We don't stop you seeing it in the online course, but we remove it from your board. So we create a board specific for you, and we set the board. So from that perspective, you've got your awareness here. So what are you doing to get awareness? What are you getting to doing for people to consider you? What are you getting people to convert and deliver? And that ties in with our core methodology: awareness, consider, convert, and then deliver, which is that delight, gamify, and advocate, right? So that's our core piece. So when we coach clients, we can set the board for them. So from your perspective, I would probably add in LinkedIn influencer into there. So you'd have your LinkedIn prospect to LinkedIn influencer. That's the outreach. That's the organic into a weekly moment. And you would also want to have your long-term warming up email sequence in there. And then you would then have your consider, which is your sales process, into then the flagship product, bundle up your product to the flagship, right? So that's what your work would need to be. Then we'd start on the left-hand side and say, right, what you want to do is just start here and work your way across. So you click on this card, and this card, you can collaborate with your team. We actually pay for your license as one of the members. So this is just an idea when you're coaching, so pay for it. And Hive now put exactly all the different tasks you need to do to set this up. So what do you need to do to set up your LinkedIn profile? You can go through this. If you're thinking, well, how do I do that? You then click on the training here and you go bam, and it just takes you into our online training portal. And then it says, right, here's a very handsome chap who's going to tell you how to do everything else on LinkedIn. And so that means you can play that. You can look at this. We can add swipe files into that. Oh, sorry, I thought someone was speaking there. It's actually me. Right, I'll shut up. So that allows us to then be do you see how that becomes a really nice way of being the gatekeeper? Instead of saying to you, Janice, you need to be doing this, this, and this, it's now saying you need to be this, and I've now split it out into really simple actions for you to be able to work through. And you can then, as I say, assign that to people. You can set dates and that, so you can collaborate with your team on it. I'm still on these boards, so I can see your progress. You're on them as well, so you can start to see progress running through it. We get to do different outreach, etc. And you just means that you can complete this event and you work through. And there's other stuff. So for example, we can attach all the swipe files. So for example, if you were trying to promote a weekly moment, you would go into here, you'd find the swipe files and go, okay, what do I need to do? Bam, here's all the email templates for you to then go out and actually use, bam, bam, bam. So to apply that to your business, if you are coaching clients, or if anybody is working with clients and there is to-do lists that they should do, or training, or even onboarding questionnaires, or anything along those lines, then you can create their own Trello board for them from a template that you've already created, and you can give them you can project manage them project manage their success through your process by giving them these different tasks, right? So that's the bit that let me just go back to here when we talk about delight, gamify, advocate. Right. So this is your delivery, right? So when someone comes on and on board and you want to delight them. So that's by you know, making wow moments in the onboarding process, make it really nice, seamless, make it fun, right? But then you've got to keep them interested in your product, service, program, whatever it is, by creating gamification. So every single time someone clicks one of those little checklists, there's that little endorphin hit that goes, oh, I've done it. I've completed that bit. I'm winning. And it gives you a percentage how far you're through it. And then when we see people completing stuff, then we can give little rewards out. We can, you know, give them kind of little pats on the back, whatever it is, plant a tree, you could plant for people, you know, it's loads of different ways to do that. But if you don't have a way of knowing if people are winning at your product, then you've got no gamification. And what happens when people are delighted and winning? They go and tell other people, right? And so people that tell other people they're happy become your advocates. And then of course, advocates create more awareness for you, which very quickly helps people to then, you know, word of mouth is the best marketing you can do. So they consider it and then they convert and the whole thing so it goes around. Cool. All right. Any questions on that one? And or I'll just do one last Trello board after that. Any quick questions on that one? Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to go back into the slide. So who wants to select the last one to demo?
You got the design, Richard.
Design. Good stuff. Okay, so who was that, by the way?
John as well. Yeah.
Who? Oh, John.
Yeah.
John.
Anyway.
Morning, John. Great. Okay, so I'll go and do the design one. Before I do, gang, just to know, I'll jump on the design thing. If anybody on here wants me to spend 45 minutes with them one-to-one to go over the strategy of how to use these Trello boards, but also the wider strategy of that awareness, consider, convert, delight, gamify, and advocacy, and how they can scale, maybe even put together a little bit of a mini funnel for you, like the one I just showed you, then I do offer a free strategy session, completely free, no obligation. And if I just show you how to jump on that, give me 2 seconds. If you go onto our website here at the top, there's this thing, free strategy session here. And this goes directly into my diary. You can see this free strategy here. You go book free point here, and then you'll see this is my diary here. So if I just copy and paste that there, you see there's some appointments available that you guys can jump onto. And I would send a link into there. So now that is in there with everybody. And so you guys can have a quick look at it and see what your thoughts are and book into that now. And let's have a chat. I can go through that with you. Cool. Okay, right. So let's go and look at the design of the social media, right? I'll show you this. I'll show you the social media bit because that's got design in it as well. So it can it crosses over past. The design is very similar, but the social media bit's got the end bit, which is then the scheduling piece, right? So what we do with this is that every time I have an idea or a thought on social media, I can throw it within this bucket. And the nice thing about this bucket is just all my ideas, just boom, here's idea, right? So we throw that within there, and it means that nothing happens in the bucket until I want to actually move it into the next column, which is to create a post. And Cheska, my graphic designer, is on this board. So she checks out this. And then I've got Lindsay, Deborah's my virtual managing director. Lindsay's on this board as well, and Flora's on this board because Flora then uses some of this content for doing some outreach stuff on the sales front. Lindsay will help in terms of the quality control and scheduling it, and Deborah kind of is there to oversee the whole thing, right? But ultimately, Cheska, my graphic designer, is the main owner of this board. Now, we have on the right-hand side the schedule for reference. And so our schedule for our social media is Monday, we want to send out an engagement creator. Spikes the algorithm, gets lots of people looking at our stuff. Tuesday, we want to promote this event, which is our roundtable event. So it means that we get lots of people coming along, which is great. Wednesday, we then want to send out a testimonial, let people know how we're getting on. Thursday, we want to then do a who wants to have the replay at the roundtables post. And so that's what we do on Thursdays. Friday, we'll do a thought leadership post. And then Saturday, we might do a little quote. Sunday, we might do a little lifestyle thing. And you see in brackets, Richard to post. So it's basically, I just do something on my phone, just me at the rugby or with the kids or whatever it is. So bring in a lifestyle in, right? So once you know what your schedule is and you set it, then you can start to think about the posts you can create. So for example, this is a post creation card that we put together, which is Roundtable Weekly promo designs, right? And so we go on here, and this was a brief for Cheska, and we said, right, we want to have a number of different roundtable events. So here's 13 weeks of stuff that we're going to be going out with at the beginning of this year for these type of events, and we want to create some designs. So this is some designs that she's put together for our session on how to double your income and work half the time. Right. And so she's now designing that. I'll go back with some changes, etc. And look, there's a number of other designs that she's put together in there, bam, 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 for the different events. So that's how we're doing that. Once she's happy with it, when she's got all the 13, she'll then move it for Richard to review. Right. So this is one that's coming for Richard to review. This is a quote, and we'll go, okay, so I've gone and asked her. You can see here, I've moved the card from bucket to create post. She says, may I ask more about this project? Thank you. And then I've gone back and probably just DM'd her or maybe on WhatsApp, etc. But essentially, it's just simplicity over complex fails. And it's just a simple quote, right? When would that go out? Well, actually, look, you can see here, that's a Saturday quote. So then you put a label onto it and you've got your Saturday quote label, job done. So now you can start to see how those labels work. So we know that that goes out, right? So I'm actually probably happy with that. So once I'm happy with it, I would send it to Reggie to schedule, and then Flora would then, Cheska would then schedule that out through our social media scheduler. If I'm not happy, then I'd put it into modifications needed, and I'd go in there and I'd write some copy about, what was the reason why I wanted that to be sorted. As you can see here, when we've got the raise schedule, for example, this would be a testimonial thing. And so this is Jamie, who's one of our clients. He just sold a flagship and we all celebrate for him. And so it's a nice little piece of thought leadership. So it can be really simple. I just grab that screenshot, dump it into the create post. She creates a nice little post and we schedule it out, right? And so then on the final bit, we got scheduled or posted. So these are all the different stuff that we've scheduled or posted in the past, from quotes to thought leadership to testimonials to fun and games, right? And so that's how it should work. And it works very similar with the design. And the thing is with the design is it will be like create design. So it'd be like our workbooks or our brochures and stuff. They don't need to be scheduled, and we don't have a schedule for it, but it's very much a bucket, create post, to review, modification schedule. Really, really nice to see, Paul. Cool. Any questions on that? Did that help?
Yes.
All right.
Is the social media scheduler, is that Zapier?
No, social media scheduler can be everything from like a Hootsuite to a Buffer to actually just scheduling stuff natively on the social platforms. So you can actually schedule stuff on Facebook or LinkedIn schedule. There's a ton of them out there, but essentially we use Sendable, which is a UK company. The reason why we use Sendable is it covers LinkedIn as well, which I don't think some of the other ones do. And it just means you can upload the posts into there. You can say that I want that post to go out in 2 weeks on Tuesday, and it will just schedule it. So it means that we are always ahead of ourselves when we're creating that content. It means that hopefully our stuff goes out pretty consistently. Cool. All right. Okay. Well, look, we are at 1:45. So I'm going to hang around anyway. I'm happy to take another question or two from the room, and maybe even work it out widely. But do remember, gang, that I run these free strategy sessions. Thank you, by the way, because I've had a couple of pings on my phone from people that have actually already booked into my diary. So looking forward to seeing you at that one. I've just put the link in there again for you to check out. Jump onto that and book in with me for that strategy session. It'd be great to catch up with you and find a bit more about your business in there as well. Cool. Okay, back into the room, gang. Just open it up for wider questions and thoughts. Anybody sharing bits that they've done? Over to you.
So Richard, on the work Trello, I just had a couple of questions to put in the chat. Just, I mean, can you actually weight activities there so that if someone's got 7 or 8 tasks, that's, you know, you definitely want, or do you just put them in order? The top ones are the most important.
Yeah, so we use labels for that. So we create labels, which is priority 1, priority 2, priority 3. And so if I'm putting, this is very much for the design one. So if I know that I want to prioritize a piece of design copy or whatever it is, I will put it as a priority 1. I'll assign someone to that card, so their name will be on that card, and then I'll be able to comment them and actually give them a deadline on it as well.
Cool. Thanks. And the other thing was, are there kind of different timescales? And that's all on the daily thing that you've got there within a week structure. If they've got other kind of background tasks, if they run out of the daily stuff, then ongoing projects which you've got, you know, for them to do as well, or
Yeah, you can do. The nice thing about what I just showed you there is we actually say to people, don't recruit just because you want a full-time person. Recruit for a set of actions, and those set of actions can be that, you know, you want to have this stuff done and your Trello board's that. So however long that takes, recruit for that amount of hours. And then if it takes more hours, then you can always talk to them about increasing it. Or if they can't increase it, then you can always job share or create a new Trello board for the stuff that's the overspill and work it from there. But the best way to do it is to do the stuff first, do it yourself first, time how long it takes you, then recruit someone and say, hey, I'm going to recruit you for 3 hours a day. The stuff that I'm giving you takes me about 2.5 hours. So there's a bit of wiggle room in there. You know, I want you to be not just getting up to how fast I'm doing it, but I want you to be better than me because you're going to be doing this consistently. And I want you to start to really look and feed back to me how I can make this better and more efficient. And you're recruiting, you basically recruit, you create the board, then you recruit for the board. Too many of us go, oh, there's a Kickstarter scheme, I'll have one of those. Or, oh, there's I'll be able to get someone. Or, you know, my mate, Dave, his daughter's just graduated from university and I'm looking for a job. She seems all right, I'll have her, you know, and like, it's just like, you know, we end up collecting people, but without actually having a real purpose for them. And so that's, you know, I did it. So my brother used to, when we had the agency yacht, we had 28 staff and we're doing over 1 million in revenue, but really, actually, to do over 1 million in revenue, you should probably have about 10 staff. It's about 100K per head is what you should have, is the kind of the model within certain business sectors. That's where we should have been. We had 28 of them because I was like collecting people. Was, oh yeah, come on, you know, I'll have you and you can come in and your mate's dog can also work here. And it was great. It was a great party, but God, it was more humans than we needed to be able to achieve what we were trying to achieve. And so hence why these sort of systems and processes are there to kind of control someone if you're similar personality to me, which is love people, want to collect them, versus actually thinking about what does the business need.
brilliant. Thanks.
Cool. Okay. Probably got time for another question or thoughts or any sort of other thoughts or people used Trello before. Feel free to, you know, share ideas.
So you can create as many boards as you like. Is that
10 boards on the free version, but then if you're paying like £10 a month, you can have unlimited.
Richard, it's the best use of a Trello board I've actually seen. So can I ask how long it took you to put all that together?
That's kind of, I mean, it's slightly difficult because obviously when I put them together, it's quick because you just go, right, we've got a project that we want to spin up, to simply be able to go, you know, ideas bucket to do, etc. Those are lists. What takes the time, if I show you, for us, is that we create what kind of takes me the most amount of time is that I create these templates for clients. Oh, actually, no, that one's all right. We can have a look at that. So you can see at the top here, this is our sales pipeline Trello one. And so at the top, you'll see that's how this list works. So every client, when I give them these Trello boards, they'll bring a template from these without the cards in, but just with how the list works. And so that then is the bit that takes the time because, oh, hang on. typical. I'll just grab it. I'll just go back to that. Come on. Oh, here you go. Let's go prospect management board. There you go. So this is the template. You can see, look, create board from template here. And then our clients would be able to then create this board from this template, or I share this board with our clients, right? On the top, there's how this list works. This is the thing that takes the most amount of time, because I describe exactly how this list works. I add the swipe files in for them to use. And here's a process diagram of exactly how this sales process should work using this Trello board, right? So that takes the time. But creating the board with those titles is simple. You just create lists, job done. You get done in 5 minutes. Then actually giving, not holding people's hands and giving them the tools to be able to use it without you. That's the bit. So hence why you do it yourself a little while first. You start to create that, how this list works. You start to take those things you do regularly, make little swipe files, upload those, bam, you then got a system. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that
So swipe file is a Ponzi word for Word document.
a Ponzi word. I love you, Alex. Yeah. Yeah. I do. Yeah, but you know me, I do Ponzi.
Yeah. No, yeah. I've been trying to get my head around this swipe file thing for years. It's like, what the?
Yeah, it's a file that you swipe, and basically it's a load of templates that you can use yourself. So the idea behind the concept is that you swipe those to be able to repurpose them and use them in your business. So there's tons of value in that. So for example, our long-term warming up email sequence swipe file has something like 42 email templates of long thought leadership based templates that clients can tweak and change and then use. And so it just takes a load of time out. So that's good. So if you are in the coaching world, or even if you are in the kind of done for you world where you've got teams that need to be able to think and do stuff for clients, and it's very common, then swipe file is a great use of that. Righty ho, my darlings. I will go. Thank you so much. The recording will be live, but do book into that strategy session. Thank you for the people that have done. And we'll see you next Wednesday, 9 a.m. for the Marketing Roundtable. Thank you all, and catch you on the flip side. Cheers. Bye. Bye-bye.